Hello, my name is Deswita Maharani, and in this video, I will present to you a poem that I have found. The poem is called In Gaza Children by Michael Wayne Rosen. Before I speak to you about the poem, we first will speak about the author. Michael Wayne Rosen. Michael Wayne Rosen is an English children's author, poet, presenter, political columnist, broadcaster, activist, and academic, who is also a professor at Children's Literature of Department of Educational Studies at Goldsmiths, University of London. Has written over 200 books for children and adults. So Michael Rosen wrote this poem in January 2009 at Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park, London, during a demonstration titled Stop the Massacre, Israel Out of Gaza. In response to violence in Gaza, this is a protest poem. Rosen uses this to raise awareness and suffering of children living through war and bombardment to evoke empathy and demand recognition of their lives. Rosen is known for writing about humanity, both its beauty and its pain, and in this poem he gives his voice to the children living through the unimaginable life in the war zone. He wrote this poem in response to the conflict in Gaza, a place where so many innocent lives, especially children, have been caught in violence. This poem is not political, it's about human rights. Since the beginning, Gaza is not about political, it's about human rights. Through his words, Rosen wants us to see what war teaches. Not hope, not joy, but fear, smoke, and survival. His purpose is to make us feel and to remind us that every child, no matter where they are born, deserves peace. So yes, the context of the poem, In Gaza Children, is written to describe the pain and suffering of children in Gaza during times of war. It shows how war destroys everyday life, homes, safety, and even the simple joys of childhood. Rosen uses this poem to raise awareness about the effects of conflict and civilians, especially children. The poem is also a poem of protest, like I said. It tells readers that everyone deserves to live peacefully and safely. And again, this poem is not political, it's about human rights. And we move on to the elements of the poem. So, this poem was written in free verse, meaning that this poetry have no rhyme pattern or singular meter. It has no rhyme, rhythm, and was made in free verse, so we could read it in however we like. The stanzas, this poem have several stanzas, which its lines have like 4 until 6 lines. The lines is short and direct, emphasizing strong emotion that has in this poem. The tone when we read this poem is sad, serious, and reflective. Of course, we need to be sad about the condition in Gaza, about the children that is dying, about countless innocent lives that has been bombed by the Israelis. The acoustic elements on the poem has repetition, especially in the form of "you learn." It's repeated to show how harsh lessons children face in war. An alliteration, for the example, blanket is smoke and breakfast is dirt. The B sound adds the rhythm in it. Blanket is smoke and breakfast is dirt. Next is the rhyme. The minimal rhyme to make this poetry sound more real and less poetic, like a cry for help, is when we use like before the tone is sad to make the rhyme to sound more real and less about poetic. This poem is not just a poem, it's about the countless lives out there. So When we read this, we need to imagine what it feels like to live with them, to be them. The pause and rhythm in this poetry is short lines create a slow, heavy rhythm matching the mood of fear and sadness. And next is still about the elements of the poem, the language of elements. There is about four language elements found in this poem. The first is diction, simple, direct, and childlike, but powerful. This poem uses simple words to make it more understandable for people. So it's simple and direct so that it tells you directly about the story behind this poem. The second is imagery. Strong visual images like before I use is blanket smokes, clouds turn red, help readers imagine the destruction. The home is turned into the ashes until we can't even have found anything inside it. It has been ruined. The clouds turn red emphasizes the blood the blood that have the blood of the innocents of lives in Gaza. The third is metaphors, like the sky kills symbolize bombs or airstrikes coming from the sky, and the night is a gun, danger and fear. They live in fear every night, and not just a night but also a day. They fear every time when a bombs or airstrikes coming for them. And the fourth is contrast. Michael Van Rosen uses like everyday objects such as blankets, toys, bread, and turn it into symbols of war and death because it helps us into more understanding about the poem if uses in everyday objects that we also use because the people in Gaza is just the same as us. They were also a people just same like us, the people. We are a people. Next is the meaning and theme about this poetry. The main theme about this poetry is the loss of innocence and suffering of children in war. It's about how children was not supposed to live in war and was supposed to just go play like other children their age and not supposed to live in fear in the war. Sub-themes about this poetry is violence and fear, hopelessness and loss, human rights and peace. The message of this poem is that every human, especially children, has the right to live, to feel safe and not to be dead, and to be not dead. Children was not supposed to die young, they were supposed to outlive some of their parents and not supposed to die before their parents, and even some children has to witness their parents being murdered in front of them. The last lines of this poetry remind us that the land is for all. You have the right to be not dead. The land is for all of them. As we know, the conflict in Gaza and Israel is about the land, but we know that the land is for all, that they have no right to be dead. This poem is a call for humanity and equality and peace. And once again, I told you that this poetry is not about politics. It's not about political. The message of this poem is not political. It's about human rights. It's about to help us understanding that they were human like us. And next, I will read to you the poem.
أين ظللت؟ أين ظللت؟
In Gaza, children, you learn that the sky kills and that houses hurt. You learn that your blanket is smoke and breakfast is dirt. You learn that cars do somersaults, clothes turn red, friends become statues, bakers don't sell bread. You learn that the night is a gun, that toys burn. Bread can't stop, it could be your turn. You learn if they sent you fire, they couldn't guess. Not just the soldier dies, it's you and the rest. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. In the home you know, you learn that death isn't life, the air isn't breath. The land is for all, you have the right to be not dead. The land is for all, you have the right to be not dead.